In this video, we are going to talk about whether it is possible to have a workplace without politics. Can we have an organization that does not have any politics at all? So let's get started with today's quote of the day. Quote of the day: "Politics is the art of looking good at all times." This quote was written by Mario Puzo. And yes, he is the same author of The Godfather. So I guess we can take this quote with a pinch of salt. Alright, so let's begin. Now when we say politics, what do we mean? Politics is usually associated with a lot of things, like manipulation, deceit, backstabbing, nepotism, favoritism, selfishness, and the list goes on. But we must remember that just like we have personal politics in our lives, where we negotiate between different aspects of our lives, for example, our career and our family, or our friends and our work, we also tend to bring this into the workplace. We bring our politics into the workplace, and we don't even realize it. Now, if you ask me whether politics can be completely avoided at the workplace, I would say no, it cannot be avoided. And here's why. Point number 1, it's human nature. So think about this. If you were put in a situation where you had to perform, and this performance evaluation would decide whether you would get a salary hike or not, would you just put in the bare minimum effort? Or would you try your best so that you get noticed? What if your friend who's sitting next to you was not putting in enough effort, but was getting the same incentives as you? Would you feel demotivated? Would you start gossiping about her with other people in the team? Would you try to convince her to work harder? Or would you start competing with her? All these actions have politics in them. Politics is a part of human nature, and therefore it cannot be avoided at workplaces. Point number 2, organizations are made up of people. Organizations are made up of individuals, and each individual has their own set of perceptions, biases, values, and goals. Each person wants to get ahead in life, and they would do whatever it takes to ensure that they get ahead. At a surface level, this may seem like politics, but if you look deeper, this is just the innate desire of every human being to survive and thrive. So how do we ensure that people survive and thrive? Every individual has their own definition of survival and thriving, but generally it comes down to 2 factors. First is about achieving one's goals. If a person is able to achieve his or her goals, then they would consider themselves to be thriving. The second factor is security. Every person wants to be in a safe environment where they are respected and valued. So politics becomes the means to an end, where people use it to achieve their goals and to ensure their survival. Point number 3, politics is used to gain power. Now, power is something that everyone wants because everyone wants to feel important. They want to be somebody in the organization, but too much power leads to corruption. Just think about the governments in the world that have absolute power. Do they use this power for the betterment of the society, or do they use it for their own selfish reasons? Now, if we talk about organizations, they have a lot of resources, and they use these resources to generate more resources. These resources can be in the form of money, products, services, human capital, technology, and so on. So everybody in the organization wants a piece of these resources. And in order to get a piece of these resources, they resort to politics. Point number 4, sometimes politics is used to maintain the status quo. A lot of senior people in organizations do not want change. Change can be scary. It can throw people out of their comfort zone. And this is another reason why politics exists in organizations. Senior people who are comfortable in their jobs use politics to make sure that people who want to bring change are either removed from the system or they are sidelined. And finally, point number 5. Politics is used to cover up incompetence. Incompetent employees are a liability for any organization. In order to hide their incompetence, They play politics, and they try to make sure that they are not held accountable for their actions. So now that we know why politics cannot be avoided at the workplace, the question is, should we avoid politics at the workplace? My answer to this question is no. As long as politics is used to bring about positive change, it's not a bad thing. When used correctly, politics can actually help us to achieve our goals. Think about it. When you are playing politics in a team project, you are trying to convince your team members that your idea is the best idea, and therefore they should support you. In doing so, you are able to present your idea in the best possible light. You are able to showcase your skills and competencies. So playing politics is not a bad thing, as long as it helps you to present yourself in the best possible way. But then the question is, how do we differentiate between good politics and bad politics? Well, there is no concrete answer to this question. But as long as politics is helping you to achieve your goal of creating a win-win situation, then it's good politics. If it's resulting in a win-lose situation, then it's bad politics. So now that we know that politics cannot be avoided, and it's not always a bad thing, the question is, how do we play politics in a healthy manner? How do we play the politics game without getting caught in it? Here are some tips that can help you. Tip number 1, learn to read people. If you are able to read people, then you will be able to understand their motivations. You will be able to understand what drives them, what are their perceptions, what are their biases, and you will be able to create a narrative around your idea that would appeal to them. Tip number 2, be aware of your emotions at all times. If you let your emotions take over you, then you may end up saying or doing things which may not be in your best interest. Tip number 3, have thick skin. If you are playing politics in the workplace, then you will have to face a lot of criticism. People may criticize your ideas, they may criticize your competencies, and they may even criticize your personality. So having a thick skin is very important. Tip number 4, never burn bridges. Never burn bridges with anybody in the organization. You never know when you would need their support. Tip number 5, always keep a check on your body language. Your body language speaks a lot about you. It speaks about your confidence levels. It speaks about your emotions. And it speaks about your intentions. Tip number 6, identify the right allies. Having allies in the organization is very important. But identifying the right allies is even more important. You need people who share similar values as you, people who can give you objective advice, and people who can challenge your thinking. Tip number 7, use the grapevine to your advantage. The grapevine is the informal communication network of the organization. Use this grapevine to get feedback about yourself, about your ideas, and about other people in the organization. And finally, tip number 8, master the art of storytelling. Nothing is more powerful than stories. Stories have the ability to influence people, to motivate people, and to inspire people. So learn the art of storytelling and use it to your advantage. To sum it up, politics is a part of human nature. It is used to achieve power. It is used to gain influence. And it is used to maintain the status quo. Politics cannot be avoided at the workplace. In fact, it should not be avoided. Politics should be used to achieve our goals. But in order to use it effectively, we must know how to play the game. We must learn to read people. We must learn to control our emotions. We must have thick skin. We must never burn bridges. We must pay attention to our body language. We must identify the right allies. We must use the grapevine to our advantage. And finally, we must master the art of storytelling. Alright, so that's it for today. If you found this video useful, go ahead and click on the like button and share this video with your friends and colleagues. Also, don't forget to subscribe so that you, my friend, don't miss out on any future uploads. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another video real soon. Take care until then. Bye.